from the 2022 Zambia International Trade Fair. We are here at the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, and we speak to the board chairperson, Mr. Jason Kazilimani, as he gives us his interpretation of this year's theme.
Well, this year's theme, I think, from our perspective, it goes to the core of Ceec's philosophy, which is value addition, and to support, for the support of small businesses, medium-sized enterprises, and so on. So I think the theme of this year's show really gels with Ceec's own philosophy, its own vision, which is to increase household incomes for people, to help grassroots businesses actually grow in a sustainable way, have profitable businesses which will impact positively on Zambia's GDP. Well, I think there's a lot that's been done and a lot that's still being done. I think one major thing that's been done is the construction of industrial yards. We've got 8 industrial yards built across the country, out of which 3 are already operational. The ones in Mongu, Chipata, and Kasama are already operational. And then here, just a kilometer away from here, we have the Ndola industrial yard, which is awaiting completion, awaiting connection of electrical power. We have one in Kitwe as well. We have one in Kasama. In fact, the plan is to have industrial yards in each and every province. At the moment, the only provinces that don't have industrial yards are Muchinga, Southern, and Central provinces. But the plans are there to have this created. And the way they will work is there'll be places at which businesses will be incubated. Individuals and small businesses will come in. They're provided with seed capital. There will be the inputs will be facilitated for them as well. There will be training provided. They will be skilled up to make sure that their businesses are viable for the long term, and that's the way it will actually work. And in that way, we think it will have great impact on the country's GDP. Okay, if you go out there, when you see the exhibitors that are in the CEC yard, I think there's some perfect examples there. We've got, for example, a lady from Chipata who's processing groundnuts into peanut butter and other related products, peanut oil and so on. We have a gentleman who's processing fish products and also even creating products that I myself have never seen before. For example, fish sausages are out there, fish oil is out there. We've got another team, a cooperative, that is using the entire cassava plant to produce, first of all, cassava meal, to produce cassava oil as well, to produce something I never heard of before, which is cassava charcoal, which is much more environmentally friendly than the normal charcoal and actually reduces the carbon footprint. So there's a lot. We also have wood processing. There's a lady out there you'll see has been trained up and skilled up to produce benches, office furniture. That table we have here in the CEC room is actually made by that same lady, and it's all very good quality. But broader as well, when we look at, say, Western Province, we've got 10 districts where we've dispersed about 15 million kwacha across 123 businesses in the area that are engaged in the area of processing of cashew nuts. And that's a major success story. In fish processing, in aquaculture, we provided support to about 362 businesses. Okay. In the area of cassava processing as well, we've assisted 24 companies to set up, and these are very active in the area of cassava processing. And some of the examples are right out here in the exhibition yard. So there's a lot that's being done, a lot on the cards, a lot that still needs to be done. We're not there yet. There's a lot that still needs to be done. First of all, in terms of building our own capacity at CEC, we now have a Director General who came on board on the 1st of June, so he's been there about a month. This board came into office about 2 months ago. You would have seen the adverts in the paper where we were, advertising for open vacant positions. And I would like you to clarify that it was not a case of filling positions for people who had been fired. No, that was not the case. The issue was that these positions were vacant. The establishment is about 104. Less than 50% of the positions had been filled. And that really constrained CEC from fulfilling its mandate because the capacity was not there. So we need to fill in some of those critical positions to support the DG to execute on the mandate. The other thing as well with task management to do is to improve the loan recovery rates, which at the moment is atrocious. The recovery rate is only about 27%, so we're talking about 73% of loans given out not being recovered. And that is not sustainable, it's not acceptable, especially since those money is supposed to come in and benefit other targeted citizens. So that's one major task that the DG and his team have been given to deal with and sort out. We would like them to come to the stand. There's a lot that they'll see, a lot of nice surprises, a lot of success stories of what CEC can do, what people can do if they use the money that they access responsibly and for the long term, and not wasting the money or spending on things which are not intended purpose. So I encourage the public to visit the CEC stand. They'll see, as I said, examples of success stories. They can engage with our staff here who will be able to explain how the general public can access the funds that are available, and also the other services that CEC provides, which is mentorship, training, entrepreneurship training, which is very important, capacity building. There's a lot that CEC actually does. And that's one thing I forgot to mention. The industrial yards as well, apart from being hubs for various businesses like agro-processing, automotive, mechanics, food processing, and wood processing, there will also be incubators and training centers where people come in for training, entrepreneurship, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot. These industrial yards are meant to really achieve a lot, and we cannot wait to have them fully commissioned. And the minister, I know, is very keen to have them commissioned. So it's just a matter of time. I think give it a few months, they'll be fully operational. Well, I'm not sure we did. I think the DG will be able to advise on that, but we are ready. I think our stand is ready to participate and jostle for a prize.
So that was Mr. Jason Kazilimani, the board chairperson for the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission. Stay tuned on Diamond TV for more highlights from the 2022 Zambia International Trade Fair.